This is the question asked in today's SkillTrack daily challenge. So in the first line of our input, we will be given the values of R and C, and after that we will be given a R cross C integer matrix as input. So this is the integer matrix, and after that we will be given a string str. So here we have the given input string str. So now each and every character of this string str should be mapped with the row of the matrix. So the first character A should be mapped with the first row of the matrix. Similarly, the second character should be mapped with the second row of the matrix. So like this, each and every row must be mapped with the characters of the string str. So again we have the character A, and then the fourth character C should be mapped with the fourth row, and then the fifth character B should be mapped with the fifth row of the matrix. So now every character has been mapped to a row in the given input matrix. So now we have to check the values. So here we have two occurrence of the character A, and now we have to see the values. So in the first occurrence the row values are 2883, and in the second occurrence of A also the values of the row are 2883. So there is no difference, both are same. Similarly, the next character is B, so the row values are 6872, and again we have an occurrence of B, and again here also the row values are 6872. So both are same, there aren't any difference. And then the next unique character we have is C. So here the row values for the character C are 9634, and we have only one occurrence of C, and this value doesn't equate with any of the remaining row values. So this matrix and string is correct as per the conditions given in the questions. So in our output we have to print yes. So this is how we have to be printing our output. In case if two characters have different row values, then in those cases we have to print no in our output. For example, here the first occurrence of A has the row values 2883. In case if the second occurrence of A has the row values something other than 2883, then we have to print no in our output. So this is one possible way in which we have to print no. And the another possible way is such a way that, for example, if we assume the fourth row of the matrix to be 6872, then in this case also we have to print no, because already the row values 6872 has been mapped to the character B. So here again this same row value is being mapped to the character C. So in these cases also we have to print no. So these are the two cases in which we can print no in our output. If both are correct, then we can print yes. So now let us see how to write a Java program for this. So first I am creating an object for the scanner class. So I am setting scanner SC is equal to new scanner system.in, and then I am accepting the values of R and C as input, and then I am creating a list in which we can store list of integers. So this is the syntax for creating a list in like that. And now we are going to store our input matrix into this list li. So in order to accept the input matrix, we have to create a nested loop. So the first I loop iterates from 0 to R, and the j loop iterates from 0 to C. And in every iteration of this I loop, I am going to create a new temporary integer list named temp. So we will be adding all the values of this particular ith row into this list named temp, and finally after adding all the integers of this row, we will add this temp list to this list li. So after the execution of this j loop, the current row values will be present in this list named temp. So now we have to add this temp list to this list li. So here we have to write the condition in such a way that li.add temp. So the list will be added to li. So now after the execution of this nested loop, the input matrix will be stored into this list li. After the input matrix, we will be given a string as input. So we have to accept that. So I am storing the input string in str. So now we have accepted all our input. Now our task is to map each and every row of the matrix to a character in str. So in order to store, I am creating a new hash map. So the key in the hash map is a character, and the value is nothing but the list of integers, because every row is stored as a list of integers. So the key is character and value is a list of integers. Now we are going to create a loop that iterates through all the characters of the string str. So the loop iterates from 0 till I less than str.length. So in every iteration we are going to store the current character into ch. So now we are going to check whether the map already contains the particular key ch or not. So if it contains, it returns a list of integer, or else it returns null. So whenever it returns null, we are going to create a new key and we are going to put it into the map. So we will be using the map.put function. So the key is ch and the value is nothing but the list of integers in the index I. So I'm just obtaining the list of integers from the li. So li.get I. So now this is how we will be storing the data into the map. So soon after storing the data into the map, we are going to check whether is any of the condition being violated. So in order to perform that, again using map.get function, we are going to get the list of integers for the current key ch. So we are going to store it into temp. So first we are going to check whether the particular row values has been changed or not. So if the particular key has been already stored into the map, the current list and the list which is already stored in the map should be same. If they both are not equal, then we should be printing no and we can terminate the whole program. So that is what we are checking in the first if condition. So the already present value is nothing but temp. So because it is obtained using the map.get, and the current list is li.get I. So if both are not equal, then we can print no and we can terminate the whole program using exit 0. So this is one possible way. And the next possible way is we have to check whether is there any other key which contains the same values present in the list. So in order to perform that, I have created a function named getKeysCount. So if there are more than one key which has the same values, then again it is also a violation. So we have to print no and we can terminate the whole program using exit 0. So in every iteration we will be checking these two conditions. If any of the condition violates, then we will print no and we will terminate the whole program. In case if there is no violation, then we will successfully run this loop and finally we will print yes. So now let us see how we have defined this function. So this is the function named getKeysCount. So in the arguments, I'm accepting the map of type character and list of integers, and then I'm also accepting the list li. So now we have to count. So I'm creating an integer variable named count and I'm setting it to 0 initially. So this function should return the total number of keys which has the value li. So we have to iterate through each and every key. So I'm creating a loop. So we will be iterating through each and every key in the map. So using get, we will get the list of integers and we will compare using the equals method. So if map.getch equals li, then we will increment count. So finally, after the execution of this loop, we would have known the updated count. So if this count is greater than 1, then it means that there are more than one key which has the same values. So we have already written those conditions in the main function. So this is how we can define this function named getKeysCount, and this is the logic to solve today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.